Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Friday Night Smackdown review. The first 3 hour Smackdown show, which is now going to be 3 hours from now on every Friday night, which honestly I am not looking forward to. And tonight obviously showed me that this show does not need to be 3 hours and should stay at 2 hours. And we'll get to the part where it really should have ended, to be honest, because I'll say this, and I said this during the Raw review and the end of the year review. I don't really think that it needs to be 3 hours of SmackDown. I really don't. I think it's gotten off doing just fine at 2 years for over 20 something years now at this point. Listen, I'm used to Raw being 3 hours at this point, and that's already a marathon to get to, and it'll be like that again coming up this Monday. But does SmackDown really need to be 3 hours? Not really. Do I think in a way they made it 3 hours because USA doesn't have any other wrestling show on, their channel other than SmackDown? Raw's going to Netflix. NXT is on the CW, so I don't really think it needs to. Now, yeah, will it get some more people some TV time? Obviously, yeah, but I don't know, man. I look at the roster and I look at some of the people. Is this show really gonna gain people's interest for over 3 hours? I don't know. But tonight it really kind of showed me that no, this show should still be at 2 hours, to be honest. So let's get into it right now. Phoenix, Arizona, SmackDown. We kicked it off with the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes coming out, basically talking about Kevin Owens and the ladder match that's coming up at the Royal Rumble, and he's not medically cleared right now, but he's ready to fight. And he said, tonight, this is SmackDown, and he just, he wanted Kevin Owens out here right now, but Drew McIntyre ended up coming out, which Drew's basically here since basically anybody from Raw shows up at SmackDown at this point, even before they even start talking about this trade window thing. But hey, just fuck the draft at this point, am I right? But Drew went on and he hugged Cody Rhodes and he said, I'm here to, to tell you something. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. Hey, I don't want you to screw up your life's work. And, you're one of the best people in this company. And, Drew went on, and I feel like this is kind of going at the internet for some reason, but he said this is the greatest era, the best era from the 80s, 90s, the Attitude Era, which in other eras, which is kind of funny. I really laughed when he said that, and he said, like, look at the ratings numbers. I'm like, dude, compared to those numbers from years ago, and I know it's different nowadays. I'm sorry, wrestling, especially, I guess, during the Monday Night Wars, had 9.8s if I'm not mistaken, not to go into numbers, and you kind of look at Raw and SmackDown's ratings nowadays. Even damn near maybe 5-10 years ago, they were a little bit more higher than they are right now. So I just think it's kind of funny he kind of went on and said that. I feel like they just had him say that just to take some shots at people, but I just kind of burst out laughing because it's like, dude, I know a lot of that's not true, especially the numbers part. Now, yeah, I don't, like, the era thing, that's debatable, but even I can kind of go back and name some past eras better than this one. But I do agree, apart from the in-ring, it's probably one of the best in-rings they got going on right now. I'll give them that. But best era overall, I just damn near spit up my drink when I heard that, especially the numbers part. I just thought that was really funny. But basically, I don't want you to throw it all away. Kevin Owens is going around parading, pretending to be a champion right now with a fake title belt like a lot of these people have in his crowd. And, Kevin Owens is out here promoting himself as the world champion at house shows and stuff. So, I just want you to watch your back. And the minute he did, he said, watch your back and everything. Cody said, I've listened to what you had to say. We've been in this company before. We left, went to find ourselves, came back here. And I've seen what you've done the past few years. You've been WWE champion and everything. But, why should I really need to listen? Because, I feel like you just invited me here so you can just throw some hands right there. But McIntyre says, I'm here to help you, not hurt you. And he told Cody once again, watch your back. Kevin Owens ended up attacking Cody Rhodes from behind then. Cody and Kevin brawled. Referees and, Nick Aldis and agents came out and, broke the whole thing up. So, excuse me, basically broke the whole thing up and whatnot. But Kevin Owens ended up throwing he threw Cody Rhodes, I think the steps, if I'm not mistaken, onto the floor, which he's holding his neck and everything. So still selling that package pile driver right now. But right after that, I guess it was a non-title match. I actually thought it was a title match going on, but it was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Andrade. I guess they did kind of talk about well, two things they talked about. Now, listen, these two have faced each other before, back in NJPW for the Intercontinental title. And right now, I guess, Nakamura's at a Pro Wrestling Noah show. So, yeah, I remember he was on last year and he fought the Great Muta during his retirement tour. So now I guess he was on there again. But listen, this was a good match. Not much I could say about all this. Nakamura got a win. He knocked Andrade's head into the ring post and hit a Kinshasa right after. LA Knight came out, got a big pop, started going Nakamura, and basically said, "You stole my title, and I'm coming after you." And he said he's coming back to get his U.S. title. So that match is going to be next week. Apollo Crews was walking around to a Pretty Deadly. He kind of came in talking about who's snitching last week, and Legado del Fantasma show up there and telling Pretty Deadly, say it to our face then that we did it. And then Nick Aldis kind of came and broke things up then, and he says we need to have a chat. Right after that, DIY basically told Pretty Deadly, if you guys want a shot in line, you got to help us out or something like that. So they went on to talk about that then. Mia Yim went against Piper Niven. Mia Yim won, ended up in the Eat Defeat, so not much I can say from this. Obviously, Mia Yim is going after the U.S. title, the women's U.S. title for Chelsea Green. So obviously that's going to happen at some point. But like I said, it wasn't a bad match. Mia Yim won. Don't really have much to say about it. Paul Heyman was walking around backstage and just did not go through the metal detector for some reason. So they don't know what he may be carrying on him. Paul Heyman was already in the ring then. He introduced himself. This Monday we're going to find out who the real tribal chief is. And then he talked about, after, lusted for years, 10 years of revenge, Seth Rollins and, Roman Reigns couldn't turn that down, as he talked about Solo. And Heyman talked about, Cody Rhodes. He did beat, took advantage of the blind spot, and he beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But Heyman went on to talk about Solo. He stole the Ula Fala from Roman Reigns. He's a twisted son of a bitch. You didn't earn it. You stole it. And you have no right to wear it. And that nobody wants to acknowledge you. We groomed you to become a tribal chief. But that was going to happen once Roman Reigns would step down. Not for you to take it. And then he talks about these band of filthy animals that he brought into WWE. He talked about basically G.O.D., that they weren't even welcome in the U.S., and that Jacob Fatu wasn't even welcome outside the U.S. prison system. And basically you brought them in, and that, say none of us are going to acknowledge you, and that you will face Roman Reigns in tribal combat, and there must be a winner, and that winner will be Roman Reigns. Solo came out then, basically still wearing the Ula Fala, and as he got the microphone, Heyman says, listen, I'm about to piss my pants in a few seconds, and if I even look at you the wrong way, you're going to just put me through a table again, just like you did at Madison Square Garden, and I'm going to get jumped. But Solo basically went on and says, you had no choice, and fans started chanting Solo sucks, and he says, the truth is this, you owe CM Punk a favor, but, I'm going to do you a favor, because right now, listen, when I win and beat Roman Reigns, you will be my advisor forever, basically, and you will put the Ula following around my neck once I beat Roman Reigns this Monday in the tribal warfare match. You'll be my new, why I say personal advisor, my new wise man forever. So, a good segment. Heyman, great promo as always, especially going against Solo, making this a big deal. So they're making this match as big as they can for this Monday in this tribal combat match. The Motor City Machine Guns went against DIY. DIY had new music. At this point, any WWE related music made by Def Rebel is trash. I'm sorry, it is. I don't know what happened with Judgment Day's music on Monday. I guess maybe the licensing ran out from Alter Bridge to... Because I'm like, I don't know what music they gave them, but it sounded like trash to me. I'm sorry. I did not really like their new music. But DIY has new music now. They went against the Motor City Machine Guns. A good match until the shenanigans took place. Pretty Deadly come out and interfere. And then Legato come out and start chasing after Pretty Deadly. And as the Guns got their submissions, the Border City stretching onto DIY. Basically, Legato and Pretty Deadly land on them then, and it ends up in a DQ finish. Obviously, it was a no contest or DQ finish in general, but how can I say this? Obviously, the chase is going to keep continuing with the Guns going after DIY, as DIY still hold the tag titles. So, yeah, the Guns are still in the chase. Could this lead to a fatal 4-way tag team title match? I could see with Legato and Pretty Deadly getting involved. Most likely. Like I said earlier with 3 hours, at least I could say it's getting a little bit more of these teams, anybody some more TV time on the show that we've seen tonight. So it's giving them something. Nia Jax talked with Candice LeRae, and that Tiffany Stratton was nowhere to be found, and told LeRae just to watch out for Bianca tonight. Sami Zayn was in the back, and Carmelo Hayes approached him, saying, he's going to get back after, we're running back because of Braun Strowman getting involved. Uso showed up there and said there was a problem. And, Sami's I like to hear about that business and everything. And as they're getting ready for their match, Sami walked off, and then the Usos were kind of walking somewhere else, but they bumped into Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens says, you guys need to watch your back. So, hey, it's coming sooner or later. Cody Rhodes was in the back talking to Nick Aldis. Basically, he's putting, a warning to anybody that even looks like Kevin Owens or anything, that he's going to drop them on sight. So if you look like Kevin Owens, you better watch out for Cody Rhodes, folks. Next, and honestly, the show could have ended after this. This low-key could have been the main event right here, and we could have been done with it. But given this is a 3-hour show now, they have to stretch this out. Nia Jax versus Naomi for the women's title. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It was a good match. I was kind of a little bit in and out of it towards the end because honestly, I was actually surprised how long it went. It basically damn near went 20 minutes. But it was a good match, though, for what it was out there. But obviously, it didn't really get better till later on, near the end of it. Obviously, Tiffany Stratton came out with Money in the Bank. Got a big pop. Got the referee with her, getting ready to cash in, but she ended up throwing the referee over the barricade. And then next, she took the briefcase and hit Naomi with it. Nia Jax hit the Annihilator. Right after that, then they all celebrated, but Tiffany ended up taking the briefcase and taking out both Jax and Tiffany with the briefcase then. And then next, Bianca got in the ring, hit the KOD on Nia Jax, impressive as hell. And then Tiffany ended up pulling Bianca out, throwing over the announce table, as she basically cashed in and did her moonsault and won the match, and now is the new women's champion. So big pop for Tiffany Stratton right here. Like I said, the match itself was pretty good. I don't think we need to go that long, but this is a 3-hour show, so I guess they gave them some more time. But everything with the Money in the Bank cash in, I thought it was great. Got a big pop. Crowd was really into it, so the era of the fridge is over. So yes, Tiffany Stratton is now the new women's champion, which honestly, like I said, the show could have ended off from there, and I wouldn't have really been mad at it. This probably would have been a good way of ending off the show if it was still 2 hours. But obviously, this is now being stretched out, and they had a video package, obviously, from Roman and Solo. And then next thing you know, we had damn near a 6 to 7 minute entrance by the OG Bloodline, or just Jey Uso, just yeeting and 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 yeeting all over the place. That like I said, you count both of these entrances and how long they were. They had to go to commercial, obviously, when like a minute or two when the match begins. And listen, it's the OG Bloodline versus the Bloodline, the new Bloodline. And listen, it was a good match, but all it really did was just eat up time until the end of this show. And I know Drew McIntyre came out there at some point, and I think Jimmy hit a dive on him to the outside then. Basically, it ended up Solo and them winning, which, come on, we all knew Solo and them was going to win anyways. We got to make Solo look strong going into Monday against Roman Reigns. So, like I said, it was a good tag match, but it took up basically the rest of the entire show. And when you count the entrances and commercials, they were just stretching for time. But I guess, like I said, they got to end it off with hyping up Monday for Netflix, because one thing I will say I am tired of is just every single segment or going before commercial. It is Raw's going to Netflix. Raw's going to Netflix. It's like, okay, we get it. I don't need you to tell me this like 6 million times. We know it's going to Netflix. So obviously Netflix has a lot of money riding on. What the hell? They paid them like $1 billion. So they have a lot of money riding on this right now. So like I said, Monday Night Raw is going to have a lot going on this Monday. Obviously, the Tribal Combat match, CM Punk and Seth Rollins, John Cena on his farewell tour, and whatnot, retirement run, Liv versus Rhea for the women's title. I know it's some other stuff, but that's probably most of the top things I can really name for this show coming up on Monday with Netflix. So we're going to see what happens this Monday with Raw. So they've been hyping this much, and I mean really hyping this much up as much as they could. So we're going to see what happens then. Other than that, like I said before, I don't think SmackDown needs to be 3 hours. I really don't. Overall, I thought it was a good episode, though. Obviously, it's hyping up going into the Royal Rumble. The Tiffany cash-in was great. Like I said, they probably could have just main evented after that. Yeah, Cody and Drew's promo was pretty good out there, too. I did like that. LA Knight's, like, he got a big pop on this show, too. So he's still going after Nakamura next week for the U.S. title. The tag stuff was the tag stuff. And I like the Motor City Machine Guns, but I figured how that tag match was going to end anyways. But yeah, that was kind of SmackDown. Like I said, it's going to be 3 hours every week, folks. So it's going to be a marathon. Definitely going to be a rough marathon. So we shall see what happens with SmackDown, as it's going to stay 3 hours. Like, you think Raw's going to be tough getting through? Which, like I said, this 2 hour Raw thing is over now, and they're going back to 3 hours. So we're already used to the Raw marathons, but let's see how SmackDown does. Because, like I said before, I'd rather have just kept SmackDown 2 hours. Literally. Other than that, I'm out of here. I will review Raw this Monday. As big as this show they hyping up, I am going to review Monday Night Raw. Because they've been hyping this Netflix thing for God knows how long. So other than that, we're going to see what happens. I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace. Please check out the AEW World's End review and the end of the year 2024 of wrestling review that is uploading online right now. So other than that, see you guys then. I'm out. Peace.